can't just rely on talking about just white women. Well, I think it's interesting because as we talk about it, we don't actually overtly call out white women. We just talk about women generally. And in fact, I'm going to pull from my diversity and inclusion experience, but we have done this for a long time, ever since women have gotten into the workplace. So when I talk to my colleagues who started out with in the 70s, let me back up here. They said, pretty much we had two pieces of advice for success: how to act like a man, how to dress like a man, and that was your road to success. But there wasn't any kind of conversation about what does that mean for Asian women, or black women, or Hispanic women, or whatever other intersectionality is there. So you fast forward a couple decades, the advice got a lot more prolific, but no different. I'll tell you, I entered in the workplace in 2001. I read books like Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office, and It's Not a Glass Ceiling and It's Sticky Floor. I can tell you, there was no reference to women of color. You fast forward again today, and there's lots more advice for women, but I just wanted to call out these two. Here we hear so much about Sheryl Sandberg and leaning in, and how important and critical that is. And then you have Anne Marie Slaughter saying, what about just reclining back sometimes? So there's more advice, but again, it is this talking about women in this very homogenous sense that we're one group. And so I'm not sure why we think that you have women, and especially those of you in organizations, institutes, academia, we're trying to fix this problem, yet we think that we can just use one playbook for women. So the question that I want to pose to my panelists, but to all of you, why don't we call out these differences? Why, of course we know it when we stop to think about it, but why don't we have the courage or the boldness to think about it? And I can tell you, over a couple of glasses of wine at our table at dinner, we had some ideas, but we had some honest conversation. I think that's what we talked about yesterday is, this is Chatham House rules, and we need to have the courage to say, why don't we? Is it because the research isn't there, or is it because we don't have the energy? Is it because of the bias? What is it? I would love to hear what you all have to say. And I will close out, I told you I would bookend it by both the First Lady and the President. The President is a huge advocate for these issues, and I had the opportunity to hear him speak a couple times, but particularly at the United State of Women Summit. And I'll just leave you with a quote. He was telling a story about one time where a senior advisor they were wrestling with this very thorny issue, and the senior advisor said, "Mr. President, this problem is hard, and hard problems are hard." And so he actually liked that quote so much that he actually has that on his desk. Hard problems are hard. And I leave that to you because this is a tough problem. If it was easy, we would have solved it already. If it was even a medium problem, we would have solved it already. But this is